you become a fan of wrestling?
Oh my God. How did I become a fan of wrestling? It was back, when I was, 5 or 6 years old. I was living in Ohio, Gahanna, Ohio, and I'd watch the Superstation. I'd watch TBS. And I'd see these larger-than-life figures like Ric Flair and Tommy Rich and, Mr. Wrestling, and, watch those shows all the time on the weekends. And I would think these guys are superheroes. They're larger than life. And I was a big Kiss fan too. I like and I was a big Spider-Man. I had about 365 comic books. So, wrestling to me, these are larger than life superheroes to me. And I've just watched it ever since then.
Now, you're one of the original super fans of professional wrestling.
Okay.
Where did the idea come up to be the guy that had the unlimited amount of signs in the crowd?
Well, I'll tell you. I've watched wrestling, ever since I was 5 or so. I never really went to a show and brought signs. Now, I watched the shows, and then back during the Attitude Era, you would see everyone in the crowd with a sign. It'd just be a sea of signs. I had the opportunity. We had front row in Dallas. This must have been back in, 97, 98. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a sign. So I made a sign. You know what? I'm going to make another sign. So I just started making about 10 signs. I was in the front row, holding up the signs and being an idiot. Mark Henry was a part of the Nation of Domination at the time. And I had a sign that said, I think it had Cartman from South Park, coming his pants down, farting, and it says the Nation of Flatulation. Well, Mark Henry didn't like that. And after the segment, he came over, looked me up and down, grabbed the sign, ripped it up right in my face, and I went, oh my God, this is awesome. To get a reaction like that, I was bit. I was bit after that. So I just started making more and more signs at every event, trying to get that reaction every time. And Mark Henry still hates me to this day. So,
what's your favorite sign you've ever made?
Oh man, there's some, that are a little edgy, like back in the Attitude Era. Like Tori Wilson would come out with like a little puppy dog. She'd come down the ring, kind of be a Paris Hilton type. And I had a sign that said, "Tori, keep your dog, I want your cat." So, sorry, folks, can you edit that out? There's little things like that. There's been times where I sneak in stuff to arenas because it's real tough to do. Like one time I found this stuffed rooster. I just went to like a Michael's and they had this rooster. I go, that would be perfect for Vince. So I brought the rooster, put a sign over it that says Vince likes me, and he came out, I'm shoving this big rooster in his face, and then Hunter, Triple H, looks over at me and goes, hey, nice cock. Thank you. So.
Has being a wrestling fan changed your life, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It's turned into, liking it to just absolutely loving it with a passion. Thank God for the WWE Network. You can watch it 24/7. If I'm not out going to shows, I'm there watching the network and all the programs and all the past pay-per-views and everything like that. I think it really got kind of overwhelming at a point where when I started getting recognized, because I go to so many, it's just weird meeting fans from all over the country. Sign guy, hey, how you doing? Yeah. That's really changed my life, and just to be a part of Deal or No Deal was something.
How did that come about?
Went to WWE.com and I saw a picture of Howie Mandel on there, and I'm like, what's he doing on WWE.com? I clicked on it. They said, hey, Sacramento fans, we're having auditions for Deal or No Deal. If you're in the area, come. I'm like, I'm gonna get to Sacramento. No. So I read a little further, and it says, if you can't make it, send us a 5-minute tape. And, go from there. I sent him a tape of just like past appearances on Brawl, like after WrestleMania 23, I think Triple H came out and yelled right in my face. Lesnar guys knows has had this happen a bunch of times too, where they're right in your face. Ah! So, I sent him a tape of that and just holding up signs and signs getting ripped up. And it took about 3 or 4 months of more auditioning. And then they called. Yeah, they were really, Yeah, I mean, they said, okay, who's going to be supporters, and they interviewed them for a few months. It took a long time, but after 4 months, they said, would you like to be on the show? I'm like, yeah, let me check my schedule. Yeah. So that was just unbelievable, and I was shocked to see Edge and Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley and Cena there. I didn't expect that, and that just made it so great.
There are a lot of people that are non-wrestling fans that look at professional wrestling fans in a negative light. What's your take on that?
I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's not for everybody. Believe me, wrestling isn't. Sometimes I go to a party, and if I want to meet a girl and like, hey, Rick, what do you do? Well, I go to wrestling. I hold up signs. Oh, that's great. I'm going to stand over here now. It's not for everybody, which I really don't understand, because I think wrestling is just a combination of, unbelievable athletes doing these action moves to comedy to drama. It's all combined into one big ball of fun. So it's fine if you don't like it. Heck, I don't really like country music, but hey, a lot of people do.
You've been through many eras in wrestling. How do you think the fans have changed from like the Attitude Era up to the current reality era?
Well, fans have changed. I mean, in regards to, like I said earlier, the Attitude Era, you just saw a sea of signs. And to me, watching the show, those signs would be a part of the show, where it's funny just to look around, ooh, that's a good one, or, yeah. But lately there hadn't been as many signs, so that's one difference between the fans from then and now. I don't know. I think wrestling fans, we've always been around, and we've always had a passion for it. Sure, some people maybe grow out of it, but I think it's always been a really big, strong fan base.
Do you think the PG era has really watered things down for the fans, or?
It depends on your tastes, I guess. I mean, the PG era is fine. I'm a big Attitude Era fan, but I think the PG era can bring in, a wider audience, a bigger audience. It's more family friendly. Let's get the kids involved. Just like, me when I was a kid and watched those superheroes, the kids can watch now too. So.
Do you feel wrestling fans are as big a part of the show as the wrestlers are?
I don't think so. I think it is all about, the wrestlers themselves and the show they put on, because they work so hard to put on this show. But every once in a while, like I said, if you see a funny sign or something, or maybe a crazy fan, that's just a little sprinkle of added entertainment, I think. So,
having been to countless wrestling events, live events, do you still get that same feeling that you got at your first show?
Yeah. I do. It's so much fun, and I've said this before. WrestleManias are great, Raws are great, SmackDowns are great, but I love the live events, the ones that aren't on TV, where they can be a little more looser. They can where I can get that interaction. If I have a good sign and they come over and rip it up or dump a bottle of water on me or anything like that, that's just added fun for me. So. Those shows and Raws and yes, I get very excited, and I mean, I work a long time. I have this big notebook just full of sign ideas. All of them not that good, but because I've been going through a dry spell lately. But I just take that out, buy a bunch of poster board, get some markers, and go to town, try to make something creative. And that's been my goal too, is to try to make the superstars laugh, or the staff, or something like that, just to get a nice little pop out of them.
Do you usually get a reaction from the superstars?
Yes,
most of the time?
I do. They'll tell me flat out, that sign sucks. What's wrong? What happened to you? You used to be good. Or they'll just start laughing and go, that's pretty good. Hey, we were just talking about you, Mark. You're an inspiration.
How weird.
That was surreal. Wow.
Now, you kind of touched a little bit on this before, but has being a professional wrestling fan affected your personal life at all?
You know what? Not a little bit. It has. My best friend goes with me to all these events, so he shares the same passion I do. He's He's very, very quiet, and like he didn't even want to come here. You know, he's back at the hotel, but he's passionate and he is very quiet. But he's always the guy when I'm being loud, obnoxious sign guy, yelling. He whispers an idea for me to something to yell. So I'm pretty much the loudmouth. But the other friends, they understand. They understand my passion, and my late wife, she understood. She was like, go have fun, go do your thing. And my family, my mom and dad, I was like, Rick, you're a grown-up. What are you doing? You're watching this stuff constantly. And then I go, Mom, Dad, I'm going to be on Deal or No Deal. Great, when's your next event? You know, so.
Do you feel that pro wrestling fans get a bad rep?
Do pro wrestling fans get a bad rap? Maybe a little bit. It's just the people that don't know about it, you know? Oh, wrestling, you know. In their mind, it's just some, you know, low rent, you know, trailer park type wrestling, whatever. It's just so much more than that. And they don't even give it the time to watch and really judge an opinion. They just don't know about it.
Do you just do professional like WWE events, or have you gone to indie shows as well?
Nope. I go to indie shows. Anything. Here's the deal: is the WWF, WWE, you know, all those superstars I admire a great deal, and sometimes, you know, they go on future endeavors and whatnot to other leagues. I'm still friends and fans of them, man. So yeah, I'll go and root them on. I wish them nothing but the best. And so, yeah, even this weekend I went to, I don't know, 6 or 7 of different independent shows. It's all like Drew Galloway and Justin Gabriel. And then I went to WrestleCon and saw the Hardys, gave Jeff a hug, and the Dudley Boys, and you know, all that. Oh man, I'm just a fan of, you know, wrestling as a whole.
In a year's time, how many events do you think you go to?
A year's time, about 40 or 50 a year.
I have a couple more questions.
Okay.
Now, wrestling fans, there's a couple names wrestling fans are referred to. What is your definition of a wrestling fan that's called a mark?
You know what? I didn't even know what that word meant. But years ago, I was at a live event, and Test saw me one night yelling at him with a sign, and then the next night, and then the next night. Finally, he just shook his head and came over. You are such a mark. What does that mean? I don't even know. So ever since then, I'm still really not sure of the definition of a mark. I would just think that would mean avid fan. Does it?
It's whatever you want. I mean, there's not really a true definition. We're just kind of seeing what people think.
Now, what's a smart?
And that was my next question. What is your definition of a smart?
A smart wrestling fan? Or is it a wrestling fan who thinks he knows it all? One of those armchair quarterbacks. They should be doing this.
That's the question. People tend to say that smart marks are the people that they follow like the dirt sheets and stuff like that on the internet, and like think they know the wrestling business in and out.
Okay.
Whereas like a mark, I mean,
it's just a big fan, like us.
Yeah.
Like Mark. Okay.
Yeah. So,
That makes sense.
Out of the two, you say you think you're a mark.
I'm a mark. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I see a lot of things on Twitter, and every once in a while I go on the dirt sheets and this and that to read about things, and a lot of the times it's not true. But I don't consider myself an armchair quarterback or one of those guys that say, oh, he should be doing this, or he should win this. And people come up to me, hey, who's going to win this? You know what? I don't care. I want a good show.
Right.
So as far as them doing business, I'm always going to wave the flag of the WWE. And
is there anything else you want to say about wrestling fans and being a wrestling fan?
I think wrestling fans are the most passionate fans out of any rock stars, football teams, anything like that. It's in their blood. They love it. And the ones, I mean, they proved it this weekend with WrestleMania. That many people, it's just going to be even bigger than next year. So, yeah.